people. It's fine.
Hey everybody, stop texting Kate, and welcome to the Twist Happy Hour, where conversations and cocktails collide into chaos. As I like to say,
And Kate is never prepared.
Kate is sometimes prepared, probably more than me actually. But let's kick it off with our cocktail before we start conversing. Today we're going to make a Pear Martini, which is super easy. If you have pear vodka.
I have pear
You do.
ginger vodka.
I know, that's going to be, I've been looking for that. I haven't been able to find it near me, and I really want to try.
With a drop of linden honey. I don't know what that is, but I don't care.
It's like linden berries. Maybe that's not a berry. Maybe I'm thinking
Some
linden.
guy named Linden made the honey.
It's from the town of Linden.
It's very Is there? I don't know. I mean, there's probably a town named Linden.
The fact check.
I know. My husband was fact checking our last episodes. Apparently, there are 106. And anybody who watched the last episode about the tariffs, was it about? I don't even know if we were talking about tariffs. There are 165 paper mills in the United States. I stand corrected. There's not.
If you live near one, they smell really bad.
So they
smell like broccoli soup.
There's not a lot of them, and it's gone down significantly since the Industrial Revolution, but there are still 165. So there you go.
You can smell them a mile away. I went to school in Savannah. Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Real
knew when the paper mill was up and running.
I don't know why.
All right. You're going to do 1.5 ounces of your vodka pear vodka of choice.
Vodka pear vodka.
The vodka pear choice of 1.5 ounces. I'm going to get you extra happy today.
Okay.
Actually, I have one with 2 ounces in it. Actually, I have a drink with 4 ounces of gin. I think it's supposed to be a batch though, because I was just like, no, I'm going to redo this.
Sounds
all right. 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. So everybody knows I pre-measure before our episodes into these little mason jars to make my life easier. But I'd like to surprise Kate with not telling her what we're doing.
Yeah, I like to be ill-prepared. I think it adds an element of surprise. And also, I don't do exact measurements because I'm pretty sure that was not the right amount of simple syrup. It was a good test.
Sweet or real tart. All right, and then you're going to do 1/2 ounce of lemon juice.
I am using lime juice.
She's always better. Make key lime then.
I'm using lime juice because I didn't have any lemon juice. And I just sent my husband to the store to get some. Also, I'm back to my gross. Of the 15 viewers that we have, anyone who saw the first few episodes where I used my disgusting lime bottle, here it is. It's back.
I think I'm just going to ship you some lime juice. Make myself feel better.
Right.
All right. Lastly, which I know Kate doesn't have, and you don't necessarily have to do it, but I think it just pumps up the pear a little more, is some pear puree, or like they sell pear nectar in bottles. So I just chuck that sucker in. And then we're going to do our shake-a-shake-a. So everybody turn off your headphones or lower your volume, because I can never get the ice out of this thing. And we're going to shake. I'm only going to shake a little, so I don't feel double.
Polaroid picture.
So like this. Really? Love it.
I can't even do it. You're like, it's like a meringue.
Oh, I go like maraca style.
I'm very impressed with your shaking abilities.
So then I put my thing on. People may wonder why I put this on. It's because the strainer top on the original of this is stuck and I can't get it off. It also just doesn't do very well. Like, it kind of lets a lot in. So I'm just gonna.
I'll tell you of my variation of your beverage. What is this called again?
It's a Pear Martini.
You
can also throw a little Saint Germain in there.
We have like similar glasses. Look at you.
Look at Nora glasses.
What is this Saint Germain? What's that?
So Saint Germain is the elderflower liqueur that just makes it a little more floral. You have it. You just bought it and showed it to me.
It's an actual flower?
Yes. So there's elder berries and then there's elder flowers. So the flowers come from the berry tree.
Okay, so you're garnishing it with the flower. I got you.
So I'm garnishing it with a little lemon because I didn't have any candy.
I'm not garnishing. I'm garnishing mine with my lips.
Okay. Cheers.
It's not bad.
Not bad?
It's not bad. That was not a
I will say I like the Pear Cosmopolitan better than the Pear Martini. But I'm going to give some people who don't. So we made a Pear Cosmopolitan a couple episodes ago.
Was that with the
Contrue and the cranberry?
Cranberry, okay.
And
I liked that.
That's really nice. It's very like smooth, and especially if you can find the white cranberry juice, which I know we talked about, it like just mellows it out even more.
I made that for a guest of my home, and that individual who it was Carol. It was my friend Carol. She was really into it. She was like, "This is actually really good," and I was like, "I just learned how to make it." So
I actually had it for the first time in Jasper, in Jasper National Park at the Jasper Park Lodge up in Canada, and I was like, "This is the best thing I've ever had." And the
those
bartender
Canadians are really mixing up the drinks up there.
I love Canadians. Come on.
Is that or do the national park lodges usually in the United States have drinks? I have not.
Oh, they have bars.
Okay.
But it's I believe Fairmont owns the Jasper Park Lodge now. It's not quite the same as we do in the States with lodges, but it is historic. Speaking of bars, let's talk about tipping culture in the United States.
I was like, are we talking about bars?
I'm so passionate about this topic.
Now, I am ready to get judged on this topic. So.
Have you worked in the service industry?
I have. Yes, thank you. I have worked in this.
Well, in what capacity?
So I was a hostess. This was long ago, almost old. Before they started tipping out the hostesses, and we just made like $9 an hour.
That's wage.
Which was more than but this was like in the 90s, in the early 2000s. And then I was a server, a bad server. I was terrible at it, but I was a server, and I made like what, $2 and some crap. Yeah.
Yep. So I was a server and a cocktail waitress and multiple other things. I was never actually a hostess, I realize now, but I always just waited tables or.
It's a great way for everybody to get really mad at you because you oversee them.
Oh, right. My sister was a server.
Sometimes you know what? Anybody who's out there that's a server, your hostesses, sometimes their hands are tied. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Can't always do it. That's why also you can't always blame your server for what happens, because the kitchen could have had issues or something else could be going wrong. It's not their fault. So, okay. So here's my deal with American or United States tipping culture. And I say it not American because North America includes 3 different countries, people. In case you didn't know, it's Canada, the United States, and Mexico make up North America. So I'm trying to be very purposeful saying the United States. Where tipping culture is one of the weirdest things that internationals coming in here think we have. Because the problem is, as Kate said, is a lot of people in the service industry make well below minimum wage because their bosses are assuming you're going to tip them. So instead of the boss paying them a fair minimum wage, at least, they're putting it on you, the customer, to make sure their employees get paid.
Yeah.
So I made like $2.15 or $2.35 an hour, which was ridiculous. And yes, I had to pay taxes on that too in college. And, if a bunch of college kids came in that night and tipped me like $2 each table, because they're all broke like I was, but let's say I did 30 tables. Okay, now I'm working away with $60 after working a 7-hour shift. Somebody else do that math. Now I'm up to like maybe $5 an hour. Yeah. Like maybe $10 an hour if I was lucky.
The real money is in the fancy restaurant.
Yes.
Where the bills,
and I feel like bartending.
$200 and bartending. Yes, I would agree with that.
Because I routinely at least tip $1 to $2 per drink. To my bartender, because they have mixed me a beautiful cocktail.
I was a shot girl in my heyday, and I made some good tips just carrying shots. What's a shot girl? You walk around the bar with shots, with the tray of shots. Gosh. It's like a cigarette girl.
$20, please.
And you say, would you like a shot? And then they give you like however much dollars, and you're like, it's great.
Oh my gosh. So you had something very controversial to say though about tipping. So I'm wondering.
Okay, so I have 2 things. So on one side I win for anyone in the service industry, and on the other side I lose. Let's settle in for story time. Okay, so I used to be a server at Pizzeria Uno in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania.
Love it. That's outside Philadelphia for all you non-PA people.
Yeah. And so I had a night where I got sat 8 tables really close together. And I was, as they say, in the weeds. And I ran my butt off all night for these tables. And one of the tables was these 2 dudes who ordered 1 pizza and they got waters only, but asked me for like everything. Extra napkins. Can we get another knife? Can we get more like just more water, more water, more water? Can we get like extra Parmesan, extra? Cause like it's on the table, but they were like, yeah, we need more, blah, 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 blah. Asked me for everything. And I'm like, I was like sweating. That's how much I was running around. Cause I had like, I had another table that was 10. I had another table that was 5. And then I had these like 2 guys, like I had 8 tables at once.
Talk about bad hostess.
Yeah, you know what? I had been a hostess at that point. So I was like, I'm going to give you a pass, but like also I hate your guts. Okay. They ran my butt ragged. They could see that I was running ragged and they didn't care. They kept snickering while they'd be like, can we get more? What do you need? Oh, okay. Can we just get some more water? And I would be like, okay. So they left. I went to go clean up the table. My busser was still bussing my other tables. I went to go clean up the table and I found one of the napkins, the menu napkins that I brought them, and it said TIPS, to ensure prompt service. And that is what they had left me. Okay. And my manager came over because he had seen how much I was like sweating and dying all night. And he's like, hey, are you okay? Like, how was your night? And I just go, I was like, can you believe this? And he goes, did they just leave? He chased them out into the parking lot and like screamed them out, which I was like, thank you. Like, you know what? Good managers, it matters. That has stuck with me. It's been 20 years and that has stuck with me. So I apologize. My dog is barking. So apparently someone has come to murder us in our home. Anyway, the second tipping story is not going to make me look good at all. And yes, this is when I've already worked in the service industry. So you can come for me in the comments, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. I used to live in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
Did you? You've never told me.
In the summertime. I love it. It's my favorite place. And I worked at the amusement park on the boardwalk called Funland, if anybody knows it. Shout out to Funland. Love it. And we used to have a lot of people from other countries come to Rehoboth. There were a lot of different companies that were in Rehoboth that would do like student exchange programs, like summer work program exchanges. So we had a lot of people come from the UK, Spain, Russia, Poland, like just kind of everywhere. And because they don't tip, when I was a poor summer working college student and I had to get a cab somewhere, I would put on a fake English accent so that I didn't, because the cab drivers knew that the English people wouldn't tip. And so I would put on a fake English accent so that, what is happening out there? So I didn't have to tip and spend my money. Also, my dog is murdering people.
So I find it funny you talk about UK not tipping. So in the past couple of years that I've been going back and forth to Europe, like you do, I have noticed this trend of they peg you as American and suddenly the credit card reader has a tip function on it for you to be able to tip people because all the Americans are going to get. And which never, like 20 years ago, that just wasn't a thing. They'd be like, you forgot your money. Like, what are you doing? But now, especially since everybody's like cashless and it's just tapping away, they're like, yeah, sure, you can give us 20%. We're already making $25 an hour, but sure, which I think it's something anybody from the United States that has never been in the service industry does not understand, is that service workers are not paid minimum wage.
Right.
They rely on tips. And yes, that is going to cost you more. But just like when my kids were little and if I wanted to go out for a date with my husband, I knew I had to factor in the price of a babysitter, the price of the meal, the movie, plus tipping. I'm like, it's just kind of what you have to do,
I will play devil's advocate. I will play devil's advocate on this though.
Okay.
There's too many leave a tip button.
Yes.
I don't need to leave a tip at Barnes & Noble.
No, there are places tips are now showing up where you're just like, I went to the gas station and I paid you for my gas and you want a tip.
The butcher, my butcher, they have a tip because they use the Squarespace thing. And they have a tip thing. And I'm like, the meat was cut. You literally just wrapped it in hands. Is it like, am I tipping for this? Do you not make enough money? Like, are they not paying you well? I think there's too much, like I don't know what they're making at Starbucks. Okay. Like we have a friend who was working.
That's Starbucks for all you people that don't know.
We all call it Starbucks. I'm going to pretend I'm a millennial and call it a Starbucks. But it's a $7 coffee drink. And then I got to give you $2 on top. I have to remortgage my house for this Starbucks coffee.
Oh my gosh. Well, even like, I'll have a lot of people tell me, they're like, oh, well, if the service is bad, then I'm not going to tip. I'm like, again, going back to what I said in the beginning, it's not their fault unless I see someone being very adamantly rude. The restaurant's empty. They're not paying attention to me, which has happened before. I still tip 20%, but I won't tip more than that.
Like, I'll tip 20%, but like leave them a note that just says like, can you just like do better?
Yeah.
Be nice. Actually, this is free. You know,
I know. I'm like, but I mean, especially if it's not on my dime and I'm working like for a company or something, I will always tip more.
Oh yeah,
because I'm like, it's going back into the economy.
I will tell you who every single one of you out there that is listening that works in the service industry, you want my husband as a customer. My husband has never worked in the service industry. And weirdly, that has made him the most kind and generous person when it comes to, he's like, I don't know what's right. So here's 72%. He's like, I'm just going to tip everybody like 30 to 40% minimally because I feel bad. He never sends food back ever. He has eaten a lobster tail that had like a green gelatinous goo on it. He just scraped it off. He was like, I was like, are you going to send that back? He's like, no, I'm good. I'll just scrape it off. Do you have a napkin? I can blot it. It's fine. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to put anyone out. He is like, you're bringing me my food. That is the nicest thing anyone can do. 30% across the board. So
until probably the past 10 years, maybe even past 5 years, I didn't know you could send stuff back. I didn't know that was an option. Even at like bars, if like you really hate the cocktail, I've only done it twice. And because one time I like ordered this cocktail because it sounded beautiful. It had all these different flavors and everything. It tasted like straight up lemon juice. I'm like, did you try it? Like a good bartender, like when you see them like dip the straw in and like hold it and then try it. That's what you're supposed to do to make sure that you've made a good cocktail.
Right.
They're not like, skimping you out of a half a milliliter or something. They're literally making sure the cocktail tastes good. I'm like, you did not taste this cocktail. I'm like, if I'm just getting a generic whatever, I don't taste it. But if you have a specialty cocktail on your menu that you are proud of, don't send out lemon juice.
So funny enough, I recently had this experience with sending a drink back. And I'm a person that when it comes to bar stuff, I'm my husband. I'll be like, I'll just drink it. It's fine. Whatever it is. I've had drinks that they brought me the like fully wrong drink. And I'm like, it's fine. I don't care. And they're like, aren't you allergic to that? I'm like, no, I have an EpiPen. It's fine. I'll just be fine. I was in Savannah with our mutual friend and, I had ordered this drink and I had one of them and then I ordered a second one because I really liked it. And the second one came and I was like, oh, this tastes a little bit different. And he tasted it and he goes, that's totally different. And we were like the only ones in the bar because it was like a Tuesday night in Savannah or whatever. And he's like, excuse me. And I'm like, oh gosh, he's going to be so mad at me. And he's like, no, it's fine. Like this guy is like obviously a very serious bartender. He has like a book of all his cocktails that I sent you the picture of. It was like the guy that it was super serious. He's like, no, he's going to care. And the guy was like super nice about it. But I felt so horrible that we were sending a cocktail back. And he was like, it's fine. Not a big deal.
I always assume someone's going to spit in my stuff.
Yeah.
I never did. I thought about it, but I never did when I was a server.
That is my husband's assumption. And that is why he does not send food back. He's like, they will absolutely. I'm like, people don't really do that. But then also, I've worked at restaurants that they do gross stuff. The movie Waiting isn't that far off, everyone. It's a Ryan Reynolds movie. I highly suggest it.
Which one? Oh, Waiting. Yes, I remember that one. Oh my gosh.
A lot of that was real.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. A lot of it was real.
But I think the nicer places are not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thanks for joining us while we talk about tipping culture in the U.S. and why it's a hot mess. We should just get rid of it. Get rid of tipping culture in America.
Pay people a fair living wage.
Yeah. So especially where they live. which I know we're working on in LA right now, doing that for the service industry. But
we're not working on it in Florida at all.
No.
It's
No.
expensive.
So thanks for joining us today for the Twist Happy Hour. You can't stop laughing. Like, follow, subscribe, share
on
with
the
your
button.
friends. If you love sitting here talking with us, feel free to throw your opinions on tipping culture in the comments, because everybody has their own opinion.
Come for me on that cab thing. I know it was wrong. It's fine.
Well, we'll have a different episode on things we did in college that we would never do today.
Never. Oh my God, that's going to be a long episode.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.